Hi friends, it's Amy here. In this lesson, your children are going to be now using the algorithm to add, but when it requires regrouping, what we used to call back in the day, carrying the one. All right, we're going to try to avoid saying that because we want to instill that understanding of place value. Okay, if you're in Florida, we're still working on this same standard number sense in operation 2 and the same benchmark 2.1. Okay, we have our problem here. Granny Amy's watch showed that she walked 3,468 steps on Monday and 2,713 steps on Tuesday. So, how many steps did Granny Amy walk, but take both days? All right, so first of all, when we're using this algorithm, again, it works just like the other algorithm, except now some regrouping is required. Now, I know old habits are really hard to break. So I wanted you to try to think about listening to how we explain this and talking with your children using this language of regrouping instead of carrying. Okay, so let's look at this one, how we would talk through this. So we have 3,468 plus 2,713. All right, so we start out adding the ones. So 8 plus 3 is 11. Now, obviously, your students are not going to be writing this down. This is just working through the steps of the algorithm with them. So this requires regrouping. So we would regroup 11 as 110 and 1 1. Okay, so 8 plus 3 is 11. That's 1 1 and 110 that I am going to regroup with my other tens. Okay, so then we're adding the tens. So we would be adding 10 plus 60 plus 10, which would be 80. So that's just 8 tens. No regrouping is required. Now, next we'll add the hundreds. So we have 400 plus 700. That's 1,100. So we'll regroup this. We regroup 1,100 as 1,000 and 100. All right, so we would say 400 plus 700 is 1,100. So that's 100. We're going to take the 1,000 and regroup it with our other thousands. And then we'll add the thousands. We would have 1,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000 is equal to 6,000. So we show that here as 6,000. Now again, use precise language. It's so important. I want you to think about what our students envision in their mind when they hear carry the one. Okay, now to us it makes perfect sense because we've been using this. If you're as old as me, which you're probably not, we've been using this for goodness. I'm getting on up there at about a half a century now. So that's an old habit to break. But imagine what a student hearing this for the very first time. I mean, they probably literally picture somebody carrying a number one. So also, using regrouping encourages a conceptual understanding of what they're doing instead of just memorizing a rule. Because if we think about it here, for example, when we have, well, these aren't good examples but let's say we were adding 8 plus 4 and we got 12. Okay, if they're just memorizing, I carry one of the numbers, they might think, well, do I write down the 2 and carry the 1, or do I write down the 1 and carry the 2? If we're using this regrouping language, when they see 12, they know 12 is a 10 and 2 ones. So we would write down the 2 ones and regroup our 10 with our other 10s. So definitely want to try to not slip up and use. I slip up and use it. I'm sure you will too, but definitely want to encourage you to work with your students on using that terminology of regrouping. All right, friends, thanks for joining. We'll see you in another lesson.